My name is Joanne Montgomery, and I grew up in Georgetown, Connecticut. There was a bunch of us. My parents, and then I have two siblings, and then I have three foster siblings. So there were six kids in my house, and my mother was a foster mom who would take in emergency cases. So there were troops of kids in and out of our house my entire childhood. So I started using when I was 15, and I probably committed my first crime by the age of 16. I felt guilty. I felt terrible. I kept having feelings of my parents in my head because I knew that they had raised me right. The catalyst for my drug addiction was my father passed away when I was 15. And I think I was just lost, and I was trying to kill that pain, and drugs worked. 3 times I've been sentenced to prison. I call them short times. My longest sentence was a year. I would go, and then I would get out on good behavior, and then I would have bad behavior when I got home, and they'd lock me up again. So pretty traumatic. When I got my pardon, I probably had about 40 charges on my record, anywhere from prostitution, larceny 6s, driving under suspension, burglary, different things like that. I absolutely remember an aha moment. My first boyfriend, who became my husband when I was 17 years old, he's the one who actually started me on opiates. And Robert used to tell me if I could give my life for yours, I would. Robert died 15 years later in prison. We were still both actively using. And I remember when I went to his funeral, and I was looking at the casket, and I just felt like he had given his life for mine. And I vowed to him that day that I was going to go and I was going to find recovery. And thanks to my higher power, I went into detox that night for probably my 20th time, July 19th, 1994, and I never looked back. Today I celebrate 30 years in recovery, and every year on my anniversary I look to the sky and I thank Robert because I know that he's looking down on me. So I am the Chief Clinical and Outreach Officer for Liberation Programs, which is a very large behavioral health organization throughout Fairfield County. So we have programs in Bridgeport all the way down to Greenwich. And I oversee all clinical services for the program. I'm going to be overwhelmed because every major event in my life, my mom has been right there with me. And this is one that she won't be at. I know she'll be looking down on me from heaven, but I think I'll be very emotional. One, that I even made it into the Hall of Change, because I know a lot of people die trying to get into recovery. And I have been afforded the opportunity to have many great years in recovery. So I think it's going to be bittersweet for me.